long-term mental health issues. Although I suffered with severe depression. I mean, it took me years to overcome the depression that was a result of taking crystal meth, you know, because it completely destroys the serotonin in the brain and the dopamine as well. And I also, unfortunately, have gone through an early menopause in my mid-30s, so, you know, I can't have children. So that's a pretty high price to pay.
Yeah. I mean, we see the pictures, don't we, of people very often. One of the telltale signs is, because it's an amphetamine, people chew, they lose their teeth. They've actually been grinding their teeth to such an extent that they have enormous dental problems, and that becomes, in a sense, the face of this condition, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, it damages your teeth, your mouth, and also, I mean, your skin. You can get these sort of huge sort of pock marks and sort of scars on the skin. I mean, often people scratch their skin away so that, I mean, literally it's raw. You know, sort of, you believe there are bugs living under there, or even foreign objects. I mean, that's how, because you become so paranoid, you even think that you're being attacked from the inside out.
I mean, hard drugs have been a problem for decades, if not longer, in the UK, and some will say that there still is not enough rehabilitative effort being put into helping people who are addicted to drugs like this. How worried are you, how confident are you that we have in place the wherewithal to deal with crystal meth as it's now arriving? We know that the police say there's more than a dozen crystal meth factories in the UK. It's here, it's a problem. How do we deal with it?
Well, personally, I believe that there should be much more funding going towards rehabilitation programs. The problem with crystal meth is that I became addicted incredibly fast, say within 3 months, and that was into full-blown addiction where I was taking it all the time and not working and so forth. And basically needed to be away from the drug and in a safe environment, learning new behaviours to overcome addiction for probably a minimum of 6 months, I would say. So, you know, in terms of, say, programmes that exist within this country at the moment, I mean, they're usually a month to maybe possibly 3 months, and I think, you know, even that time is not enough. You know, getting over an addiction to Class A drugs is, you know, it's a monumental thing to do. You need that support, and you need to be, you really need that time to change your whole life, basically.
Well, Clea Myers, we appreciate you talking to us about this. Thank you very much indeed. Well, today...
More at sky.com/news.
Charlotte, thank you. Now, Britain's most senior police officers are warning of an explosion of the drug crystal meth here in the UK. It can cause serious mental health problems as well as kidney failure, internal bleeding. The police say it could soon rival crack cocaine use in some of our biggest cities. Well, Sarah Graham of the Drugs Awareness Programme, Frank, is also an addiction therapist. She's in our central London studio right now. It's a big problem, this, in places like America, Australia. It's taken a while, really, to get here in force, but it does now seem to be in our big cities.
This drug has been creeping in for a while now, and the traditional thought about it has been that we've got a lot of cocaine and crack cocaine here, so it's not going to be a problem. I don't buy into that argument, because I think drugs are like brands, and cocaine is a brand whose currency is on the wane. At the moment, we haven't got that much supply in this country, but it is increasing, and we have certain populations of people in this country who've been exposed to that drug in their home countries. You know, there are a lot of different factors which mean that it could well take hold here, and I think it could actually happen very quickly if the supply is increased.
So, as you say, almost driven by fashion, really. Medically, what's it capable of doing? We know that, we were just listing them there, some of the potential problems it causes, kidneys, but mental health problems as well.
Like other stimulant drugs, cocaine, crack cocaine, speed, it has an impact on the central nervous system and the heart. It puts a great deal of stress on those. But with this drug, the thing is, people can stay up for a number of days without sleeping. That can really affect their minds very quickly. Psychosis can set in. Also, this drug releases a lot of adrenaline into the system, which is the fight or flight mechanism gets triggered. That can make people very aggressive and violent. In countries like Australia, they've actually built padded cells in the emergency rooms for people so that they can lock them somewhere safe because they're actually too dangerous to go near when they're brought into the hospital. You know, in this country we've got very little stimulant treatment provision. I run a service for Involve in Surrey. That's a very rare thing. You know, crystal treatment actually takes 6 to 9 months, and at the moment we're just not set up for that, so we really need to wake up and get ahead of the game. The new drug strategy, which is about to be launched, that is going to be focusing on heroin and crack. You know, if this drug takes off, that policy will be out of date before it's even sort of got going.
And if it does take off, will it take off because it's been imported and smuggled in from abroad like other drugs, or will it be domestically produced in effectively crystal meth factories?
I think it will be both, actually. We've seen both happening already. You know, certainly the number of labs that are being built here is increasing, and that's something we've seen in the last 6 months. But also we are, as I said, we've got certain populations of people here who are used to using this drug back home, and those people can bring this drug in as well. You know, we really need to be careful because this drug can be made from stuff that's available on the high street, things like drain cleaner, ephedrine, which is going to be controlled more from April. We're going to be restricting the sale of ephedrine in this country. But really, somebody with very little sort of chemistry experience and sort of knowledge of the internet can make this drug. The labs that make the drug are very dangerous as well. They're very volatile, they can explode, they create a toxic dump. You know, so if one of these is being built in your neighbourhood, you know, it's a really serious issue.
Yeah. Sarah Graham from Frank. Sarah, thank you. All the business.